Good morning or good afternoon or good evening or whatever time it is for you when you are watching this. My name is Don Patterson. I am a retired minister member of the Presbytery, mostly honorably retired, I might add. Retired after 35 years of being a chaplain in trauma centers and acute care hospitals. I know there's a risk in making assumptions. I know how that goes. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that if you are watching this, you are living in days of anxiety and stress and under the pale of uncertainty. One of the things that I've learned, and I learned early on in my chaplaincy career, and I still hold fast to it today, is the value of breathing. Now, we all breathe. Our brains won't let us not breathe. We all breathe. But I'm talking about a different kind of breath. I'm talking about intentional, mindful, prayerful breathing, paying attention to our breathing. Now, science has borne out the value, emotional and physical value of breathing, lowering blood pressure, reducing a sense of internal stress, that sort of thing. I would also add that there's a spiritual value to mindful, prayerful, intentional breathing. And we know that the word in Hebrew, ruach, for breath, and the word in New Testament Greek, pneuma, for breath, are both related to the spirit of the divine in our lives and in our world. I ran across a poem about a week ago by a colleague of ours from the ELCA, a pastor by the name of Meta Herrick Carlson. She is at Bethlehem Lutheran Church in Minnetonka. She's a very good pastor, and in my opinion, a pretty darn good poet. And she wrote this poem. It's called The Pandemic Panic. Breathe and feel the Spirit filling your whole body. Breathe and give thanks. It is a wild gift every single time. Breathe and acknowledge the grief of your plans changing, the fear of uncertain things looming too large to bear alone. Breathe and consider how well Christ knows how fiercely God cares. Breathe and lift up your neighbor more vulnerable still. Breathe and believe we are in this together, and the next right thing is enough. But first remember to breathe. One of the great contributions to civilization, in my opinion, is 3M Postit Notes. I particularly favor the yellow ones, but any color is good. They stick to anything, I think. I've never tried them on Teflon, but they stick to mirrors and they stick to walls and windows and the backs of toilets and that sort of thing. And I found myself that when I'm in times of particular stress or high anxiety or just feeling like I'm chasing my tail, I will put Post-it notes around on mirrors and doors and windows with a simple word, breathe, to remind me to stop and breathe and pray and think about the great and gracious gift that we have received from life and from God and from the Spirit of God. And may that Spirit be with you. Amen.